All right, now it's time to talk about the main event, the greatest match in wrestling history. 2 out of 3 falls.
I was gonna say that.
No time limit.
Before me.
The champion,
damn it,
Kazuchika Okada, against the best bout machine, Kenny Omega.
It's the best match I ever saw in my entire life.
Mind-melting match. Amazing.
Yeah.
Incredible. Phenomenal.
It's the best wrestling match that I have ever seen in my entire life.
Dude, this was so excellent. Like, I know that a lot of people were worried about the 2 out of 3 falls and no time limit, like possibly like going too long and just...
Oh, yeah. I voiced those sentiments last week. If you remember, I said, that's a... And you know what? That's a tough gimmick to get over. You know what's crazy? So I was at work today, and the guy sits next to me. He's an old school wrestling fan, and I showed him a picture of Jericho with the gold, and he's like, "Jericho won the title?" He's like, "That's the IW." Like, he kind of knows a little. He's like, "That he won the IWGP title." I was like, "No, it's the IC belt." And then he's like, "Oh, is that Kenny Omega next to him? He won the belt?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "He beat Okada. He doesn't know who Okada is." And I was like, "Yeah, it's the best match I ever saw in my life." He's like, "Really?" And I was like, 72 minutes. And he was like, "What?" He's like, "They went over an hour?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro." He's like, "That must have been really slow." And I said,
like, no.
And I said,
quite opposite, my friend.
Said, "No, bro. No. Like, it wasn't slow at all. It's like the fastest over 1 hour match I've ever seen." I could not believe the pace that these... I mean, I guess I should believe it, but like, because they're the 2 best wrestlers alive today, maybe of all time. Like, they're in that conversation now. And just magic, man.
Yeah, I mean,
just magic.
Kenny was in phenomenal shape, the best shape I've seen him in quite some time.
Bro, it's the 4th time they've ever wrestled. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, a lot of guys in the wrestling business, when they are, doing their thing and they have like a big money pay-per-view match, they've been on house shows together. They've done practice matches over and over and over again. They've been touring. You know what I mean?
Right.
They've wrestled each other countless times and perfected their match before you see it on the big match. These guys might have had some multi-man matches a couple times, but
rarely.
Really rare. Yeah, like I think like 2 or 3 times they've had multi-man matches. They've had 4 singles matches. All 4 singles matches are amongst the greatest matches of all time. That just shows you how incredible the chemistry, the artistry of these 2 performers are, that they are on a different level when it comes to wrestling.
Yeah.
And this is one of the greatest in-ring stories I have ever seen from start to finish.
Well, I mean, there's just so much backstory. I mean, this thing, goes back
years and years and years and years.
And like, this has just been Omega's like scratch and claw to get to the heavyweight title, and then all their matches, all the stories in each of their matches, kind of played out throughout this match.
Yeah, I mean, like literally, like you take Okada's like coming back to New Japan and his whole entire feud with Tanahashi and the Bullet Club and becoming the ace and establishing himself and then having to overcome Naito and all these different until he becomes Okada, the ace. And then Kenny on the flip side being this independent guy from Canada and DDT and the Golden Lovers and being in Kota Ibushi's shadow and breaking out, becoming a Bullet Club member and, kicking AJ Styles out, becoming the cleaner, the best bout machine and all the struggles and making the transition from junior to heavy and winning the G1, the first foreigner to ever do it. And then these guys meet. And it's about the battle for the future of the company. Who's going to carry the brand into, to the rest of the world? Is it going, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what this has been all about all this time. And then, over the last couple years, with Okada having one of, if not the greatest heavyweight title run in modern times, maybe one of the best of all time. When you factor in certain things like quality of opposition, quality of matches, type of matches, story progression, like, not, you know what I mean? And then you take Kenny and his performances and his heartbreak from, and then, the Bullet Club fracture and reuniting with Kota Ibushi and all that build.
Yeah, I mean, all that played into it. And we saw, like, the opening video there of, like, for Omega's entrance. Omega and Ibushi. Ibushi came down like his guardian angel and, like, asking him if he's prepared, and, like, pulled out the Avengers line, like, what did it cost?
Yes.
Like, everything. And we saw, like, the Thanos, like, effect on the Bullet Club logo.
Mr. Omega, I don't feel so good. Oh, man, that was emotional, dude.
Yeah, it was.
And then he came out with the new gear. Oh, man. And Kenny, like you said, Kenny was shredded.
I don't know if he's doing keto also, but...
He's doing something. He's got a needle or... No, I'm just playing. Nah, he's straight edge. He would never do that, but that I know of. But Kenny just put in the work, put in the time and effort, and that guy was just on a different level. Now, I will say this. Kenny never wrestled Okada with those freaking pants. You want to wonder why the outcome of the match was the way it was?
The pants.
Those pants cost New Japan their ace. They cost Okada. They cost you your future. I've been telling you, bro. I've been telling you since the beginning of the year. Get rid of those pants. When he had the shorts, he was undefeated as champion. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh man.
You never lost to Kenny Omega before you had the pants on, bro. That's all I'm saying. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
I'm right.
Thanks, Mama Kazu. But dude, this first fall, Okada gets the first fall with a catches Omega with like a roll up.
Bro, they wrestled like when was that? 32 minutes.
The first fall as at 28 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah, bro. They went almost 30 minutes for the first fall.
But dude, once Okada won the first fall, I was a little worried. I was like, oh my god, they're gonna have Okada like sweep this man and like continue running the title.
The thing is, I kind of thought that Kenny was going to lose the first fall because during the press conference, he kept emphasizing how important it was to get the first fall. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, he's dropping the first fall.
Yeah, and then also, too, like, Cal's on commentary mentioned, like, that was part of, like, him and Ibushi's game plan. It was, like, take it to Omega in the first fall and, like, get that first fall.
Yeah.
And, like, Don Callis had, like, a great call after, like, Omega loses this fall. He's just like, Omega has to beat Okada twice. Not once, but twice in the same night.
We haven't even really focused too much about Don Callis and Kevin Kelly, but I just want to say that this is the best match calling that they've done since I've heard them together. The whole show. But this match in particular was exemplary. It was just phenomenal how good they were on the stick. Like, they were so good.
Yeah, and what do you think about the rest periods in between falls?
I think it's necessary. Most old school wrestling promotions always have done rest periods. In fact, most wrestling promotions used to do longer rest periods. They were only like 2 minutes, right?
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it too.
I like it. It makes more sense.
For newer fans, they might not be used to that for 2 out of 3s. Like,
yeah, like in WWE, like you get the guy gets pinned, and then like 20 seconds later, they ring the bell, and I'm like, what are you doing? This dude got beat. He's got to collect himself. Give him a moment.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you go into the second fall. Omega continues to just bring the pace and take everything he has to Okada. And again, like, I don't want to go through every single move they did, but just a lot of great back and forth action here.
It's a lot of the stuff that they've done in matches past. Like, that's the thing. Like, they built upon the matches that they've done before, and they had a lot of callbacks.
Dude, a lot of callbacks, a lot of innovative counters.
But at the same time, it's not like it ever felt like just a greatest hits You know,
Oh, no.
nothing like that. Like they were telling a totally brand new story, and this match was. I'll give my analogy at the end actually, because I've already got it work. Like I have it in my mind.
So at 50 minutes and 10 seconds, Kenny picks up the second, his first fall, but the second fall of the match. V-trigger One Wing Angel. And they did a great job of selling how powerful the One Wing Angel is, with Okada like barely getting up during the 2-minute break. Like he wasn't up, and like,
dude. So if you fans remember the very first match, the brilliance of the first match, and the major story that came out of that was how, you know, Kenny never hit the One Winged Angel in the first match, and the whole idea was, if he hits the One Winged Angel, It's over. He just never was able to get Okada in the One Winged Angel. That was the main thing. So that whole and then in the second match when he finally did hit it,
Okada got the rope break.
So he caught Kenny slipping. So like they've been building to this for all this time, and then he finally caught him in the G1. He finally got him with the One Winged Angel, and he established that yes, if I hit you with this thing, you're done.
Yeah, One Wing Angel's like the most protected finisher right now in wrestling.
Yeah, I actually didn't know this, but I was listening to another podcast. They said that the only person that's ever kicked out of it ever is Kota Ibushi.
Yeah, and that was like back in DDT.
But once they said, actually, you know what? I did know that because I've seen the Peter Pan match, which is that's the name of the event that they wrestled at. But when they're in Budokan, and yeah, I actually forgot that he did kick out of that. But at the time, it didn't seem as big of a deal to me.
Right.
You know, but nobody in New Japan's ever kicked out of it. And so, yeah, you're right. Okada sold it like he just stayed there. Now, was the second fall the fall where they were teasing the Ibushi with the towel?
No, I think that was
the third fall.
Yeah, at one point he like jumped up.
So yeah, that was another piece of storytelling that well, let's go to the beginning of the third fall.
So yeah, so the rest period is over. Red Shoes makes Ibushi and Geto leave the ring, and Okada immediately hits a V-trigger and goes for the One Wing Angel for a quick win, but Okada's able to slip down and hits the Rainmaker, which both of them go down, and they kind of like reset the match from there.
Yeah, so like that was like excellent because they made it seem like Omega was just going for the kill as soon as the 2-minute period was over, and like they're like imploring like Okada to get up, and he cannot get up.
Yeah,
and Omega's going like Omega smells blood. He's going for the finish right then and there, and it felt like he was about to like end it.
Yeah.
I was like, man, what a blow off to a match. Like, is this going to be it? And then he catches him with Rainmaker out of nowhere. Just, getting emotional thinking about it. Oh, man, I was so emotional during this match. Like, there are very few matches where I get emotional, and there were several on this night. That's why I think this night was so great. So many matches got me emotional, but like this match started pulling on my heartstrings. It had that Ric Flair Vader like flavor. Like I say it all the time. That's the match when I don't know why, but I watch it and I get more emotional watching Ric Flair Vader than I do Ric Flair and Shawn. I don't know why, but this match had that feel for me. Like, man, like I was like, I want Omega to win so bad, but I did not want Okada to drop this belt.
Bro, I wanted him to I was ready for Kenny Omega to get this thing. And, it's what you're talking about with Ibushi teasing. It really wasn't really like he was going to throw on the white towel. He went up there to tell him to
no. So I actually checked into this. So we weren't really sure what was going on, but he the reason he showed up with the towel was because he was checking on him to see if he needed to throw in the towel.
Right.
And then Kenny told him that he was okay.
And then Ibushi told him to hit the Phoenix Splash.
Yeah, and then Ibushi trusted him, which that's a callback to last year because last year in Dominion, if you remember, obviously we all remember, it's the famous spot where, Cody shows up with the white towel and he's trying to throw. You have this guy who's a contemporary, who's part of the same team as you, who's somewhat of a professional rival, There's some jealousy there. He wants the same thing that you have, and he has the opportunity to throw in the towel, and he's trying to do it. And Kenny's like, no, I'm fine. And Cody's like, no, I have to.
Yeah.
To protect you.
Yeah.
To protect you, Daniel Bryan. It might be like all those fans who didn't want Daniel Bryan to come back. To protect you.
Yeah.
Same thing. But that's why like this spot, that moment with Kota Ibushi is like so incredible, because there's a lot of parallels. Now it's not Cody, it's Kota. You know, a guy who he screwed over in the past, a guy who could have taken the match into his own hands.
Yeah.
And decided the finish and said, no, you don't know what's best. But instead, their mutual respect and their trust and, you know, their relationship and all that. And he tells him, he's like, I'm good. And he has enough wherewithal. Okay, then go up there and hit the Phoenix Splash.
Yeah.
And that moment, I was like, man, this is freaking storytelling.
Yeah, dude, amazing. And dude, the crowd was behind Kenny the whole match.
The crowd
dude,
was so
you
far
have like a few people start going, Okada, and then just Kenny, like drowned them out.
Yeah, the Kenny supporters were Okada had supporters, but the Kenny supporters were just killing them.
Yeah. And so yeah, a lot of back and forth going on towards the end of the match, and it all came down to Omega hitting a V trigger, which it looked like he jumped through the freaking TV screen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was the sickest V trigger of the match. And One Wing Angel, and we have a new IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
Yep. Another moment that really stuck out to me was when Kenny started hitting Okada, and Okada was no-selling it, and it was like Kenny has nothing on his, and it was just like Dominion last year.
Yeah.
It's like he has nothing left, but then all of a sudden, like, it was all bravado because he hit him one more time. Like, instead of folding like he did last year, he hit him one more time, and you see a little bit of a crinkle. Hits him again, another little bit of a crinkle. And then the next thing you know, like, Okada's selling, and I'm like, oh my God, this is freaking incredible.
Yeah, and then also great with Okada trying to hit
the One-Winged Angel.
The Rainmaker.
The Rainmaker.
And he collapsed based off the match where Omega collapsed, and Okada missed the Rainmaker because of that.
Yeah, just the storytelling was at such a high level here. And then he finally beat him. And now there was one thing that I had predicted was, I didn't say this on the show, but I was telling Jeremy, I thought Okada was going to kick out of a One-Winged Angel at the end of the match.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
And I guess I'm glad he didn't, but I really did think he was.
Yeah, and they did a great job. I think it was great that they used the One-Winged Angel for the second fall, because then that put that doubt in your mind, like, all right, he hit it once, like, is he really going to hit it again to beat Okada? He hit it again,
and he beat him, man.
Yeah.
And then, like, so one of the things with this match, did you see what Dave Meltzer said about this?
That it was the greatest match he's ever seen.
Yeah, essentially. Like, I'll pull up the...
Yeah, I don't remember the exact quote. I listened to it this morning.
Oh, you listened to that today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pull up the quote. Bear with me.
I don't remember exactly what he said, but I know it was to the extent, like, yeah, this is the greatest match that he's ever seen, and that it definitely broke the scale. Yeah,
we don't even know what he's going to rate this. Like, what do you think he is going to rate it?
Dude, like, at this point, I'm expecting him to say, like, infinite stars. Like, there are not enough stars for me to rate this match.
So this is what Dave Meltzer said on One Nation... when he came on One Nation Radio. No, on Wrestling Observer Radio. He said, I'm convinced of this. I believe that I saw the two greatest wrestlers in the world today. Both have the greatest performance on the same night, in the same match, which climaxed a 2-year story and ended the greatest championship reign in decades all at the same time.
Yeah, I mean,
that's...
I have to agree with him.
I definitely agree with him, man. I don't know how you couldn't agree with him unless you just don't know, you know?
Yeah, you're not woke.
Yeah, unless, like, you're someone who's just turning it on and you're hearing the hype and you're like, how good is this match? And you say, you're like, yeah, it's okay. Like, no, man. Like, that match is incredible.
Yeah.
So one thing about it, we'll get to the post-match, but I want to reflect on this match a little bit more. So... one reason why this match stuck out to me, aside from just everything else we've talked about, well, the work rate.
Yeah.
The work rate is so high. I mean, there's so few breaks, and when they do take breaks, it means something. But at the same time, the work, not only is the work rate high, but the work is so smart. Like, they're not just doing stuff to fill time. You know what I mean?
Everything meant something.
Everything means something. And you would think with 2 out of 3 falls that things would mean less. Like, you would... But they accomplished what you wouldn't necessarily... You know, an Iron Man match is almost an easier gimmick to work. Even, you know what I mean? Because... Yes, you have to fill the whole 1 hour, but you can do multiple falls and have everything keep going and build drama that way. 2 out of 3 falls, it's like there's only a few ways it can go. And once the first guy loses, you pretty much know what's going to happen from there after until the final fall. So, I mean, you kind of, you know what I mean? That didn't matter. They were able to still keep the drama, keep the tension going the whole time while calling back to all their old matches. But and then the storytelling, of course, and the drama and just everything. But one thing about it was, here's the way I saw it. So I remember when the first match came out and people were like criticizing it because they were like, it was too long. Mm-hmm. A lot of people were like, and it took too long in the beginning to gear up and get to the point where the exciting stuff happened, basically, is what they said.
Right.
Not saying that that's an apt analysis, but that's what people were saying. Never mind the fact that they had to follow Naito and Tanahashi.
Right.
But still, you know, that was a complaint that people had. The second match, where at Dominion last year, my biggest gripe, this is my complaint, was that they spent so long working over Okada's leg when it literally added nothing to the match. It had no meaning, and it did feel like they were just filling up time to fill up time. And then and then, you know, I guess you could have some other one other complaint. I guess one thing I thought, it's not really a complaint, one thing I just didn't think booking wise made sense was having Okada be the guy crawling over to beat Kenny.
Right.
When you're trying to build doubt to the idea of
Kenny could have won.
Right. I didn't like that aspect of it. I have always thought that was a little bit of a negative drawback. But other than that, that match was incredible. And then the third match was like the sprint that they had at the G1. And people criticize that. They're like, oh, they relied to, it's nothing but dragon suplexes and
V triggers
and drop kicks and Saito suplexes and rainmakers. And, you know, people are just like, oh, and reverse Ranas. Like, it's nothing but that. And they thought that they worked too much. Like, they did too much, too fast. That it didn't mean as much, which that might be a valid argument to some degree, even though that match just rules. Where this match succeeded is that it took the best elements story-wise and action-wise from all 3 of those matches and combined it into this masterpiece while avoiding the pitfalls, the minor pitfalls where these 6-star matches that preceded it
right
happened to have little nitpicky things here and there. They got rid of it, you know? So the whole, like, it took too long for it to build up, gone. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, they kept a perfect pace to where, like, they didn't blow themselves up, but they didn't, you know, they weren't working a hold for 20 minutes or anything like that, or a body part that didn't play into the story of the match. They didn't do that. They didn't do, you know, they didn't have, like, nonsensical story builds. Like, everything that they did
made sense.
It all made sense. And then even when they were doing like the crazy action, it was put in the right place. Like the placement was perfect. I can't imagine that someone could sit there and watch this match for how long it was and then say that they were bored, say they didn't get it, or I mean, you don't get wrestling at that point because this is a masterpiece. That's my take on it. That's why, to me, I would. Hopefully we see something that's as good as this, but you know, you have to factor in the build. How are you going to find a match that with guys that
have this backstory, guys that are in this shape, this much ring psychology, top physical shape, like there's just,
how are you going to find a build like this ever again?
Like how can, like, who knows? Maybe
it's gonna take years.
Suji and Umura in like 10 years.
Maybe.
Or like Oka and like Umeno or something like 10 years from now.
Maybe. I don't know. You know. But this was just It was so excellent, man. It's the best match I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're listening to this podcast, you've probably watched this match, but I mean, I highly recommend that you watch it again. Tell your friends that are are disappointed with other wrestling products to watch this Dominion show. It's
gonna be so hard for anything for me, not just New Japan, but anywhere in the world to compete with this.
Yeah,
this is like, for me, it's like, and I mean, this might sound like it's too early to say stuff like this, but like, it's 2018. I don't think anything else in this whole decade. This is match of the decade, man.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is the pinnacle.
It's the pinnacle
of professional wrestling.
What did they used to say in WWE? Oh man, what did they used to say when the logo would pop up?
What, Then Now Forever?
No, I'm sorry, I screwed it up. Roman Reigns used to call himself this because it was like a callback. The premier of sports entertainment or something like that. Well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I can't remember what it is.
I'm not sure. Yeah,
freaking A! I ruined this award-winning podcast. No, but man, now I feel, after reviewing the match, the same way I felt afterwards. Like, what's left?
We got news.
Well, you should talk. Let's talk about the post-match. So, okay. Take your victory lap, Jeremy.
Yes, so on this very show last week, I said that this Dominion show was going to end with the Young Bucks coming out as the heavyweight tag team champions, celebrating with Kenny Omega as the heavyweight champion. There would be a reunion, and I said that there would be some seeds planted of Ibushi kind of being jealous. Now, it didn't go down exactly like I pictured, with like Ibushi like kind of looking in the background, but Ibushi was staring at the IWGP title when they were all walking up the ramp.
I noticed that too. He's staring at the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know why, I just pictured that moment, like the Elite holding those 3 belts and just being back together.
I agree.
And the Golden Elite T-shirt, we found out that was in the box.
Well, not only that, but while they were celebrating, the confetti's coming down, and they're about to hand the belt to Kenny.
He pushes the belt away so he could hug the Young Bucks. And it was a call back almost to him pushing them away when he was arguing with Cody.
Oh, Jeremy, I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
That's awesome, bro. Yeah, you're right.
He pushes the belt away to show.
There's so many little things.
Yeah, because obviously then he pushed him away because fighting Cody was more important. But now he pushes the belt away because their friendship is more important than the belt.
And so they like reconcile. They're all heavyweight champions. You got Kota Ibushi there. Kenny cuts an incredible promo, and then suddenly, like, Cody comes out.
Right.
And you don't really know what his intention is. Like, you don't... Like, you're like, is he coming out here to challenge? Is he coming out here to congratulate him? Is he coming out here to
start smoke?
Yeah. What's the deal? And then he turns around and he goes back. And so you're like, wow, that... Very interesting. And then... and then Kenny basically cuts a promo, leaves, and then, like you said, they're on their way out. Kota Ibushi was staring at the IWGP title. They go to the back. They go to the post-fight press conference, and Kenny just cuts an incredible promo. Very reminiscent of the promo that he cut last year after the G1 special in the USA when he won the US States title. A lot like that. Like, Kenny can be very good on the mic.
Oh, yeah, he is. That pretty much wraps up Dominion.
Well, like, let's talk about some of the stuff that he talked about. He talked about, like, this is the Golden Elite.
Yeah, he said that, this is the Golden Elite, but it's different from the Elite's one thing, the Golden Elite's one thing, and the Bullet Club's another thing, but we're still, like, I'm still a leader of the Bullet Club, like, the Young Bucks are still in the Bullet Club, like, Koda's not in the Bullet Club.
Yeah, apparently.
But the Golden Elite, like, we're the Golden Elite, but just me and the Young Bucks are the Elite, so.
They unleashed the new shirt, the Golden Elite shirt, basically that they're there to change the world. He gave all the credit in the world to Okada and talked about having to follow in his footsteps, and then discussed, like, that he's going to be able to do what Okada wouldn't be able to do, and that's bring this thing to the world. And that, why didn't he go the easy route? Why didn't he take the payday? Why didn't
he be tranquilo?
Yeah, he said that, and I was like,
which seeds are planted for Omega versus Naito there.
Yep. And he mentioned, that's not really my way. This is my way, and he talked about, that they're there to change the world. Mm-hmm. And this is a title that Kenny didn't ever think he was gonna be able to win. Yeah. Dude, I will say this. I will happily say this. Earlier in the year, I said I didn't think Kenny was getting a title shot. I didn't think he was ever gonna get another title shot or touch this belt. I literally said that because, it's not that I thought he wasn't championship material. I just thought that wasn't the way they were going, and clearly I was wrong. Like, he's the guy.
Yeah.
I don't know how long this title reign is going to be, but he's the guy.
And something like I mentioned at the beginning of this review, that this show started off with Harold Mine. It was kind of like the theme of this show. At the end of Dominion, there are only 2 Japanese champions left.
Very interesting.
Takahashi and Suzuki-gun, or the junior tag titles.
Well, I think we know why, because there's been criticism from New Japan haters, like, oh, they loaded up all this new North American talent because they're coming to North America and that's so cheap. And it's like, so?
Dude, why do people hate business tactics? Like, they're trying to draw. Like, they're trying to fill up a 10,000 arena. Like, why wouldn't you do
Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do a smart thing? Because they're used to a company that does stupid stuff.
Right.
They're like, oh, so they're just going to put their title on the
Gaijin.
On the Gaijin. It's like, yeah. So
like, why not?
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
They're coming to America. Yeah. Jeremy's getting pissed. It's like, you think Hiroki Goto's gonna put butts in the seats? How many people you seen walking around town wearing Goto t-shirts? I mean, I know no one's sporting Big Mike shirts, but I mean, I think we're more likely to see people in California show up to see, Big Mike than Goto.
Right.
Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I feel like.
Yeah.
And I don't think all these title reigns are going to be long-term title reigns. I don't think we're in the... Bro, this is just like, a couple months ago when people were like, Chaos has all the belts. And I was like, yeah. And like a month ago, Bullet Club had all the belts. Now they got no belts. And it's going to change, in a few weeks. Like, that's just how it's cyclical.
Yeah, wow.
Get used to it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's funny. So, Dominion. So, final thoughts on Dominion.
Incredible, phenomenal, amazing, fantastic, terrific show from top to bottom that featured the greatest match in professional wrestling history. If you haven't seen it yet, I don't know why you're listening to this podcast. Like, pause this, go watch it, and come back and finish the show. Share this with your friend. I mean, I shared the main event with my brother, who doesn't really watch wrestling that much, and he freaking loved it. Like, do somebody a favor, like, show them this match and this show.
I was talking to Chris Things from Grown Men Watch This. And, we were talking, and he was like, what did you think? And I told him that I thought it was the best show I've ever seen in my life. And he was like, well, the All Japan 90s shows, the big Noah shows from the early 2000s, like 03, 05. And I was like, yeah, but Chris, I didn't watch those shows. I was kind of young. I wasn't like, I know I've seen a lot of wrestling, but like, I've seen matches from those shows. I've seen the main events and stuff, but I've never sat down like top to bottom and watched like a 1992 All Japan like card. Like, yeah. So for me, I mean, bro, this is the best. This is better than every NXT show I've ever seen. This is better than every Jim Crockett show I've ever seen.
Better than any WrestleMania.
Better than all the WrestleManias I've seen, including 17 and 19. And, what was the one?
30.
31?
30 and 31.
I thought 31 was excellent.
Yeah, 31 was really good.
Better than that. I thought it was better than... This is the best New Japan show I've seen. I thought it was better than every Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
I literally did. I mean, it might not have had the same feel of importance when you got, like, the New Japan Rumble and all that, which I love.
Yeah.
But top to bottom, this is the best wrestling show I've ever seen. And that is huge.